lot of the more recent photographs of ghosts that have been caught on camera are often altered or manipulated using modern technology to make them appear authentic, when in fact they are fakes. However, every now and then we come across images that we do not think have been messed with, and are either a trick of the light or genuine photographs of paranormal activity. In this list we look at 5 images that we believe could be the real thing. But as always, we'll let you decide. So, without further ado, sit back, hit those lights, and enjoy. Martinez Dog Demon. This first one is a strange one, but not one that we have ever covered on this channel before, and it's because it stands the test of time we thought we'd look into it. It's known as the Martinez Dog Demon, and it appears on a photograph of Joe and Patty Martinez, taken during a friend's 50th wedding anniversary in the late 1990s. The photograph has been studied by paranormal and photography experts, and they can find no tampering or glitch with the image. Despite many attempts to figure out what the true cause of the phenomena may be, to this day, the image remains a mysterious and unexplained paranormal case. Take a look at the infamous image, and we'll give you a bit more background to the case. At the time the photograph was taken, Joe Martinez had been struggling with a deep-rooted drug addiction that for many years he had hidden from those around him. He claimed his addiction was driving him mad and was soul-destroying. Despite this, he and his wife Patty attended their friend's 50th wedding anniversary in 1999 and posed happily for a photograph. However, when the photograph was developed, the pair were shocked to see this sinister-looking dog leering over Joe's left shoulder, especially as there were definitely no dogs at the event. Joe and Patty became convinced the creature was a demon. In fact, Patty believed it to be Satan himself, and the pair took it as a sign that Joe was losing his battle with addiction. Joe believed it represented the good and evil in his life, with Patty being the good and the demon on his shoulder being the evil. Instead of the photograph freaking Joe out, it jolted him into tackling addiction, seeing the demon as a type of warning of darker times to come if he didn't. Thankfully, Joe was able to battle his addiction and he got himself clean. He even started carrying the photo in his wallet to remind himself not to go back there. Over the years, the photo and the creepy dog-like entity has remained a fascination amongst paranormal enthusiasts, who believe it is a striking example of a phenomenon in which unseen entities appear in photographs, but have not been spotted by anyone at the time the photograph was taken. The significance of the dog-like creature appearing on Joe's left shoulder hints at a sinister presence known as the left-hand path, a branch of the occult often associated with dark magic and demonic forces. Some have suggested the creature is a hellhound, a demon or evil spirit that takes the form of a dog. Hellhounds are sometimes seen as guardians of forbidden areas, or as sinister drifters that spread death and misery wherever they tread. To date, no one has come up with a plausible explanation for the entity, and many believe the photo is real proof of a demonic spirit. What's your thoughts? Graveyard Ghost. Todmorden in West Yorkshire is better known for UFO sightings rather than ghosts, but this next image was taken in the Todmorden Unitarian churchyard and appears to show the spirit of a long-dead woman who was buried there. It was snapped by a group of ghost hunters who were exploring the graveyard in October 2018. The team say their electric energy meters were going haywire, and they were drawn to the grave of Sarah Agnes, who died aged 50 in 1927. One of the group members, a man named Rob Crabtree, took the photo and was shocked at the images he caught. Take a look. The mist appears to take the shape of a woman hovering above her own grave. It is worth pointing out that at the time the photo was taken, the night was clear and there was no fog or mist in the air. The gravestone indicates that there are 3 people buried in the plot, and the 2 women appear to be the 2 wives of the man, James Davenport. The ghost hunters believe the spirit is of the older woman, Sarah Agnes. as the other wife was only 27 when she died, and they believed the image was of an older woman. At the time the photo was taken, none of the group noticed the mist. The only thing that was unusual was their erratic energy meters and the sense that someone was watching them. What do you make of this one? Lady in White. Now this one is a very recent image. It was picked up on CCTV from a building site in Birmingham, UK, in the early hours of Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. A security boss was alerted after a motion sensor camera at the site picked up movement and took some snaps. When the image came through to his laptop, he was shocked at what he saw. The alert was raised at 1:53 AM, and 3 minutes later, on-site security responded and carried out a full patrol, but found the site all clear with no signs of any intruders. The image that appears to be translucent has left staff baffled, and the creepy image has been shared online and in newspapers throughout the UK. We have to admit it's pretty creepy, but does look a bit too good to be true, although the security boss says it's 100% genuine and has no reason to lie about it. What do you make of this one? Child ghost. Anything involving the death of a child is upsetting, and this next image is of a child, although it somehow brought comfort to a grieving mother. Little Fabiola Rodriguez was buried at the Masonic Cemetery in Las Cruces, New Mexico, after she died in September 2018 in suspicious circumstances while in the care of her mother's boyfriend. Near to where Fabiola was, a camera had been set up on a headstone of a boy whose grave had been vandalized. The boy's parents hoped to capture evidence that the person they believed killed their son was also vandalizing his grave. But when they reviewed the footage, they saw images of a little girl wandering around the cemetery alone at night, and they were so concerned that they contacted the cemetery owners, thinking the child must be lost. But when they showed the footage to one of the workers, he told the family, "We know that little girl. She is buried here," and they showed the family Fabiola's grave. The video is not available, but here are the stills from the footage. The same day, the little girl's mother, Sandra, happened to be visiting her daughter's grave. She had already alerted the graveyard owners to be on the lookout, as she noticed toys and other items left in front of her daughter's grave had begun to go missing. When Sandra was shown the video footage, she started crying. She was positive the little girl in the footage was the spirit of her daughter. A final image captured on camera appears to show the child walking away into the night with a much taller figure. Sandra believes the image shows her daughter leading the other family's deceased son to heaven. She said they both have such a tragic story of things that happened to them, and both of them still haven't gotten justice. So I think she was definitely there to comfort him and take him to heaven. The ghost that screamed. This next image is again an older image that we haven't covered before. It was brought to our attention by one of our viewers, Samuel, and after looking into it, we were fascinated by the case and the story behind it. The thing we like about older images is you know they haven't been tampered with, because the technology wasn't available at the time they were taken. So what they show is either a glitch in the camera or the genuine thing. This case is known as the ghost that screamed, and it first came to light on a Destination America TV series called Case Files Unknown. The story is quite tragic. On December 27, 1984, 4 teenagers were driving near the Highland Park Golf Course in St. Paul, Minnesota, heading to a rock concert. It was a wet, foggy night, and the 4-wheel drive vehicle they were traveling in hit a curve, left the road, and crashed into a group of trees. 2 teenage boys and 1 girl survived the impact, but sadly the 4th, a 16-year-old boy seated in the front passenger seat, died at the scene of the crash. When Officer Brian Coyle and his partner at the St. Paul Police Department arrived at the scene, the fatally injured boy was wedged inside the car under the dashboard. Coyle took several photographs of the scene, as was normal for a traffic accident. Several days after, Coyle received a call from the officer who developed the photos he snapped at the crash site and requested he drop by. Coyle was shown the photographs from the scene and was shocked at what he saw. There were images on the snapshots that had not been there at the time they were taken. Several had strange red and yellow lights streaking through them. In another one taken above the driver's side door, there was a face that appeared to be in agony and was screaming. Neither officer had an explanation for what they were looking at. Another image in one of the photos was outlined clearly on the driver's side door. It was the translucent figure of a Labrador dog, and if you enlarge the photo and look past the hood of the crashed car, 3 fuzzy figures can be seen standing between the trees. Several other photographs taken that night showed unusual anomalies that several experts could not explain. A psychic who contacted Officer Coyle afterwards, after the photos were released, feels that the face is the image of the boy's soul leaving his body, but he is resisting, screaming no, because dying at such a young age was not what he was expecting. As for the dog, it later transpired that the deceased boy had a chocolate Labrador that had recently passed away, and the psychic believes the dog was there to escort his former master to the afterlife. Pretty creepy, and still to this day unexplained. Let us know what you think of this one. So that's 5 creepy ghost sightings caught on camera. We hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.